welcome to Engineering and You right here on OGTV. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC, in collaboration with Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. Every week for this quarter, we have been bringing you conversation around engineering and STEM-oriented subject conversation to solely promote the understanding and knowledge of engineering in our everyday lives. When I return, I will be introducing the topic of conversation, our judges on the program, as well as those debating for the topic. Please stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You are still watching Engineering and You, brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon in collaboration with Nigerian Society of Engineers. Let me quickly introduce our officials on the program today who will navigate the smooth operation of the debates. We have our judges on the standby, representatives of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Hello, judges.
My name is Engineer Olushina Bamidele Agbaji, MNSCM NICE, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. So nice to be here today.
Well, thank you. Welcome to another episode of Engineering and You Debate Competition. My name is Engineer Dr. Adekunle Ibrahim Musa, Fellow of the Society from Nigeria Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. Thank you.
Thank you, engineers. All right, we have our accurate timekeeper on the standby also on the program today, Abdul Karim Oyedele. Hello, Karim. All right, these are features for the debate today. As the world continues to embrace the use of technology, even in healthcare, Nigeria is faced with a question on whether investing in robotic healthcare is a futuristic solution or it means that reflects a misplaced priority. Should we channel our limited resources to high-class technology that can help provide more healthcare services in our country? Or should we just pay attention to the traditional healthcare service that we provide in the country? This is the topic on the program today as we bring together two outstanding secondary schools in Abeokuta. We have Tied Up College, who are ready for the debates today. Hello, Tied Up College.
Hi.
Good evening,
ma'am.
I am Mr. Consolado.
And I'm Bayo Gladness.
What are you speaking for or against the motion?
I'm speaking against the motion.
All right, Tied Up is speaking. Tied Up College is speaking against the conversation today, against the topic. And we have those supporting the topic of conversation, representatives from African Church Grammar School. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Olude Deborah. I am Onilola Abitoye.
All right. These are the representatives from the schools today, and they will be giving you ideas what they think is best suited for the conversation today. Robots in healthcare system in Nigeria, should we pay attention to it, or should we just invest more in the traditional healthcare system we have in Nigeria? Ladies and gentlemen, when we return, I will hand you over to the debaters who, by the way, are ready to change whatever idea you have about this conversation. Please stay with us.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, honorable timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. The personality before you is Olude Deborah, a student of African Church Grammar School Senior, Sayale Abeokuta, Ogun State. Here to say yes to the question, is the use of robots in healthcare a good investment for Nigeria? Every life saved is a story extended, and the tools we choose today will decide how many of those stories continue tomorrow. When I think about robots in healthcare, I do not picture cold rentals taking over hospitals. Instead, I see a steady hand that steadies another, A careful partner that helps doctors save time, nurses breathe easier, and more healed people return home to their families. Investing in robots isn't a luxury for tomorrow. It can actually be a bridge for today that carries communities from crowded waiting rooms towards better and steadier surgery. First, robots make care more precise. In surgeries and diagnostics, precision is the difference between fear and relief. You cannot compare what a steady robotic hand will do to what a tired human hand will do after hours of working. Also, you would agree with me that it is not everything that goes on in the healthcare sector that requires human acts. Simple activities such as dispensing medicine, transporting vaccines from one part of our hospital to another can be done by machines. And if robots carry out these tasks faithfully, it will give doctors and nurses time to listen more, comfort more, and make decisions. In short, robots aren't here to replace compassion. They are actually here to give the caring person time and opportunity to offer that care where it matters the most. Likewise, when we invest in robotics, we are growing our own capacity in aspect of biomedical training and technical engineering. Then, the money spent not only returns in health outcomes, but in training, in infrastructure, and in the pride that comes with doing things for ourselves. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Chairman, incorruptible panel of judges, fellow early debaters, and my distinguished viewers. I'm Goto Konfalabi, proudly representing Tado College, and today I boldly take to this podium to answer no to the motion, is use of robots in healthcare a good investment for Nigeria? Ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind that my answer to this motion is not on vain grounds, rather backed by different statistical analysis as well as conclusions from different scientific investigations. Without further ado, I'd like to dive into my arguments. Sadly, my first argument rests on the poor economic state of our dear country, Nigeria. Currently, Nigeria is drilling in the depth of over 113 billion naira. That's massive. Well, that's not the topic of discourse right now. I did a quick review of what the introduction of robots in healthcare would be like on our economy. So, Mr. Chairman and my distinguished viewers, you might want to jot down the following analysis. Nigeria has a total of 24 teaching hospitals and 33 federal medical centers. And you agree with me that to introduce a effective robotic healthcare system is going to be adopted in at least 30% of the federal medical centers. Mathematically, that is 9.9, and approximately 10 federal medical centers. And also from my research, I discovered it's going to cost about $800,000 to $2.5 million to effect this structure in each federal medical center. That is an approximate on an average of $1.65 million per federal medical center, and a total of $16,500,000 for just 10 federal medical centers, which is approximately over 26 billion naira. They also need to remind you that other costs, such as maintenance fees, importations, workmanships, will also be taken care of. Mr. Chairman, incorruptible panel of judges, fellow elite debaters, Honorable Minister for Health, Honorable Minister for Finance, are we ready to add this to our financial burden? Are we ready to add this salt to the source of our health sector? We all know the answer. Thank you.
Would you rather dig 10,000 graves of Nigerian lives or invest in healthcare? When you step into FMC Abeokuta or Olabisi Onabanjo Teaching University, what do you see? One doctor struggling to attend to 50 patients. Our healthcare is bleeding. According to World Health Organization, Nigeria loses 4,000 medical professionals every year due to brain drain. This is overwhelming. Firstly, I would like to define the key points. Robots and machines that perform tasks automatically, sometimes even faster than humans, while investment means putting in resources today for greater benefits tomorrow. Healthcare, on the other hand, basically means every services that keeps us alive. Now to my point, robots improve efficiency and precision. In India, robotic surgeries have been realized to reduce error rates to less than 1%. Robots perform that surgeries accurately far beyond human limits. Imagine if this could be implemented in Nigeria, where maternal mortality rate is the highest in the world. Secondly, accessibility. Nigeria has only one doctor for 10,000 patients. That is massive. No wonder our medical professionals go abroad where robots do assist them, and they have more time to attend to their families. Imagine, how can you be a doctor when your children do not even have time to greet you, good morning daddy, because they are always on night shift. You're still alive on daily basis, so they move abroad where there are better chances and opportunities. Finally, economic investment. Nigeria spends over $1 billion on medical tourism every year just because our medical things, we don't have enough medical care here in Nigeria. If they want money, $1 billion can be invested in Nigeria here, that means that now robotics will provide world-class care here, people will stay here, and the money will be invested in Nigeria, boosting our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stop arguing about costs while we keep burying our people every day. Lives are wasting away. People are dying. Robotics is not for the future. It's not science fiction. It's a science solution. Thank you.
A country is having headache, and the next thing you're suggesting is cutting her head off. Standing on all existing protocols, I am Bayo Gladness, Oluwabu Kola, a worthy ambassadress of our prestigious Tajab College. And today I am here to reinforce our position on this motion. Nigeria as a country has been experiencing an epileptic power supply, meaning that there's literally almost no electricity in the country. Even the so-called presidential villa, Aso Rock, has been clamoring for solar power electricity. Why? Because of there's lack of electricity in the country. And now, some people will now start thinking that these general hospitals could also use the solar power plant to at least enhance their robots and to be able to charge their robots and so on. But how many of them can afford it? How many general hospitals can afford it? Some general hospitals are still looking for petrol to power their generators, not to talk less of powering the robots. I'm not talking on this electricity just for electricity's sake, but I'm talking because you can't expect a robot to stay for a whole year without being powered without electricity. Abi, what do you expect? So we need a stable power electricity plan for this to work, firstly. Then secondly, on my second point, we move to corruption. Corruption rate in Nigeria. The corruption rate in Nigeria is very high. So these corrupt people can use these corrupt practices to go against their opponents and manipulate these robots, thereby feeding with human lives, letting human lives go down the drain, and that is not good. That is not good. Also, on this corruption that we're talking about, this doctor to patient ratio of this country is very low. You said it is 1 to 1,000. Sorry, you are very wrong. That is not it. It is 4 to 10. You said 1 to 10,000. Sorry, you are very wrong. That is 4 to 10,000. And according to the WHO, it's supposed to be 23 to 10,000 patients. But now, I'm telling you that we can actually accept people based on merit and not based on connections. And if we can do this, the health sector will be a better one. Thank you.
My dear opponents corrected me that the ratio is 4 to 10,000. Thank you. But do you not think that that is more reason why we need robots? Excuse you, doctors are collapsing every day. After we train our medical professionals, lecturers know they rest in class just because we want our children to be doctors. Now, after they are medical doctors, they travel abroad because of brain drain. Nigeria's ratio is 4 to 10,000. When you walk into an hospital, you see a crowded hospitals, which is why we have hospital pathogens. And you're saying no to robots. But I ask you, what can you do to reduce hospital pathogens in overcrowded hospitals without introducing UV disinfection robots? And again, you mentioned our poor economic state. My dear brother, Nigeria's GDP is over $372 trillion. And in 2024, our great government decided to buy 108 SUVs for senators, which cost over 3.8 billion. Now you think that a country that's rich will not be able to afford robots? And if they actually invest this money in robots, we can buy over 20 robots. We are not saying you should distribute robots like tomatoes in the market or like gala in Lagos traffic. We are saying start with teaching hospitals. Mind you, there are some hospitals in Nigeria that are already doing it. Example, Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the likes. But let me tell you something. This debate is not whether about we can afford it. It is whether about it is about can we afford losing more lives. This is not about anything. This is about that child that needs saving on the hospital table, that mother in labor room, that patient who cannot afford to wait. Robotics is not about preserving humans. It is not about replacing humans. It's about preserving them. I tell you, robotics is the only way to reduce death, to reduce a lot of things, and Nigeria needs a solution. Robotics is a solution. Thank you.
And then my opponent said, and I quote, "Are we ready?" Actually, this question underlies fear. And fear doesn't save life, it actually takes life. Is waiting till eternity your definition of progress? Thank you.
Still on the position, when I came around, I made mention of a fact. I'm come here to speak on facts and statistical analysis. Well, I'm well aware of the GDP, but previously, the allocation to the health sector used to be 4%, and it was increased to 5%. What can 5% of the national revenue being allocated to the health sector do? Doctors are going on strike, nurses are going on strike. There are not enough hands on deck, and this is a frivolous discussion we are diving into. My second concern is that of cultural acceptance issues. Technology is only effective when people trust and use it. Most patients rely on human assurances, and also remember that cultural beliefs also shape health choices. If we introduce robots in our healthcare sector without proper social integration, we risk rejection, underuse, and wastage of funds, wastage of our taxes. When we invest in robotic healthcare sector, in the long run, we reduce the amount that is being given to our healthcare workers, meaning that we even treat them more poorly. We treat our heroes more poorly. This will lead to reduction in the number of new entrants into the healthcare sector. And when these robots finally have issues, you mentioned something about precision, but in physics, we believe that no machine has 100% efficiency. This is because it can break down at any point. And when this failure finally happens, what happens? We have even lesser ends to fall back on. So sad. My other concern is the technological development issue. The level of technological advancements in Nigeria currently poses a serious risk if this structure is being implemented. Is it because we don't have enough resources to take care of this sector, especially when it comes to technological professionals, etc., like cybersecurity specialists. Thank you.
The first step to actually solving a problem is knowing what the problem is. You talked about doctors going on strikes. Have you asked yourself why they go on strikes? It could be because of emotional stress, and that is why we need robots in healthcare. And you talked about the percentage of budget going into the healthcare, 5%. That is exactly why we need to invest more in healthcare. And in conclusion, why the doubts are strong, the defense is actually stronger. We are not saying that investing in robotics means choosing glamour over basics. It actually means choosing to weave innovation into our struggles.
My opponent has underrated our expertise. You mentioning the fact that we cannot maintain is a big pain. Ouch! Are you saying Nigeria are so dumb to handle basic robots? In the last competition of mathematicians, in Nigeria, might and genius beat all those who are there and prove ourselves as the best. And we have engineers and people who can actually maintain these robots and attend to them. You underrating our mind is a testament that you are saying no, Nigeria are actually dumb people who cannot maintain basic robots. Thank you.
Still on this opposition, my opponent mentioned, my opponent corrected what I said previously, that the government, they are putting small into the health sector and stuff like that. Do you know that this government, they have not even yet managed medical doctors, and now you are thinking of them managing the robotic lab, and you are telling me that the poor maintenance culture is not an issue. How is it not an issue? How will we create roads, and after 2-3 months they are spoiled, and everything is being abandoned? Projects are there, abandoned. Escalators, abandoned. Everything, abandoned. And you are telling me that the poor maintenance culture, the thing is that, and you are not thinking about the bad side. If this robotics is later being implemented and it fails, do you know that it actually brings a bad image to our country? You might actually think that it will improve the image of the country, but you know that it will reduce the image of the country and it will open our poor maintenance culture.
Actually, I dislike your pessimism. And you spoke about infrastructure. Instead of seeing this as a barrier, we can actually see it as an invitation. When we improve power supply and infrastructure for robots, it means that robots isn't arriving just for itself. It is pushing the whole system along with it. And I say to you, if we plant this seed with wisdom and patience, it will grow its roots in equity, infrastructure, and training. And someday, its fruit will be life saved that otherwise would have been lost. Thank you.
And you say Nigeria does not have a stable electricity. But I ask you, are all our hospitals running on NEPA? No. So if you are talking about corruption and electricity, should we shut down airports too? With corruption in our bones, Nigeria builded roads. With corruption in our bones, we builded schools. So you are saying that corruption will stop robots. I'm talking about electricity. We have generator backups. Excuse you, we have solar. In 2024, Nigeria invested billions in solar energy, and even all around Ogun State, you see solar plants going all over everywhere. So are you thinking electricity or fear is a reason why we should stop? My opponents argue from a place of fear and excuses, but I tell you, fear doesn't lead to elation. It only drops us backwards to what we are really meant to be. Thank you.
I won't say that she says I'm arguing based on fear. I have no iota of fear in me. I'm talking because I want to save the lives of our dear Nigerians. According to my analysis, about 244 people died within 3 years just due to the use of robots in surgeries and due to mechanical failures from these surgeries. And also 1,391 people had permanent damages due to the same use of robots. Also, this Indian that you quote, a man died due to a mistake in the procedure that was carried out by robots. So that India does not count, nullified. Also, you made a mention about we should continue spending billions. So because we have a very high GDP, we should continue wasting billions upon billions on different frivolous activities. No, this is one of those things that continues to drag our nation back. What I say is dragging our nation back, it's not what is dragging our nation back. Engaging in this frivolous decision making, going into the dark tunnel without looking first, is what is dragging our nation back. All these kind of decisions without thinking properly is one of the things that is making us go backward in Nigeria. I will not take this. I will not stand for this. Mr. Chairman, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no to a good health sector, but I'm saying yes, we should take the right decision towards getting the right results. This is not, at this point that we are, this is not the next decision we're meant to be making. No! Thank you, sir.
Are you having a good time?
Yes,
I'm going to ask you watching the program if you are having a good time, because I am. We all are having a good time. You're not here in the studio right now, but I can tell you the feeling, the atmosphere is tensed. And like you can tell from the way and the mood the students have been able to express themselves. You know the schools are well represented here. This tells a lot about the schools who have sent these people down. But you know, the conversation is one that is actually a very hot one that is debatable. And today we've been able to talk about it. We've seen from those supporting and saying that, you know what, we don't think we need robots. We need robotic activities or robotic instruments in the healthcare system. So we would like to take you now to the judges who have, by the way, been working behind the scene to ensure that everything done here is pure and very, very accurate. Hello, judges.
Well, thank you, the presenter. I want to congratulate the two schools for that presentation, but I have some few things here, very short. Robots are a good investment for Nigeria when targeted at problems where they produce measurable health system gain, like supply, logistic, remote consultation, diagnostic automation, and artificial intelligence assistance. Federal government should avoid blanket purchase of a very expensive surgical robots.
Yes, it's been a very calculative and...
I can see that.
So let's have the scores rundown from here. So for the technical contents, the rebuters, and the use of English. For TIDOB, International College, for technical contents, you have a total marks of 32.5. While for African Church Grammar School, your technical contents, you have a total marks of 38. For the rebuter, TIDOB International College, you have a total marks of 16.5. While African Church Grammar School has a total marks of 17. Then for your use of English, TIDOB College, you have a total mark of 30. While African Church Grammar School has a total mark of 33.5. So the total mark allotted to Taidob International College is 79%. While African Church Grammar School has a total mark of 88.5%. Thank you.
Yes, in view of the scores now, we can see it's a clear winner and very competitive as well. I want to declare, according to the score here, African Church Grammar School, the score 88.5% as the winner for this episode. Congratulations.
Teams came with their A game, and I could imagine what it took the judges to have made the scores. We will always have those who are ahead with certain points. And to show that this is nothing but a healthy competition among young people, we now request that both teams extend a one handshake, hugs if possible. This is nothing but a show of competition, healthy competition, to promote healthy competition among students, among young people, but especially to encourage them in the study of engineering, but particularly STEM-oriented subjects, and to help you watching understand the need to promote engineering conversation in our society. Maybe we need to talk more about this in our society to see and be able to compete with other countries who are by far, far better than we are technology-wise. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillong, FNSC, in collaboration with Nigerian Society of Engineers at Belkuto branch. I'll see you next week, God's willing. Bye for now.
All bets on sports. Huge winnings.